Hello, I'm back at the park. Did my little bike ride, did a slightly longer one to get here, so I probably won't do my second loop around the park. But I'm just sitting here enjoying the nice day. I'm in a slightly different location, but not really because there, that area is where I sat earlier last week. The flooring for our basement is getting dropped off right now. It needs to acclimate it to the basement before they can install it. So hopefully it'll get installed, start getting installed maybe the end of the week, the beginning of next week, which will be just in time to film my March wrap up. I was originally going to do another vlog style because I really liked that. But I was having trouble filming the intro clip in like the first couple books that I read, and I recorded it like a dozen different times, and I just decided I'll do a sit down wrap up this month, just because it was frustrating and I didn't want to have to try and edit it through the month when I was upstairs and not in my office, because getting my computer out and then back to hide it from cats eating cables is such a pain in my ass. So yeah, it's NHL trade deadline day and my hockey team is doing things I'm not happy about, so I have tweet notifications turned on and my phone keeps going off. So I should probably do some reading. I don't know if I'll record it. Probably not, because I'm sitting on a bench and there's nowhere to prop it up. But I'm going to do a little bit of reading and then I'll take you to the duck pond. This is going to be a really short one, mostly just to have something to get up next week, but something I didn't have to edit too much. And also apologize for the construction work. There was flooding through this park like 2 years ago, and so they're finally fixing some of the sidewalks that got destroyed. So anyways, I'll see you in a little bit. So I just did a little bit of reading. I brought Cast with me, but I just didn't choose to read that. I started Love After the End, which is an anthology of short stories by Indigenous authors, but not just Indigenous authors. They're Two-Spirit and queer Indigenous authors. So I started that last night. I read the introduction, which I thought was really interesting, talking about it's speculative fiction, and originally they had kind of wanted it to be like dystopian speculative fiction anthology, but they decided to go in a utopia way, just because we're kind of living in a dystopia, and especially for Indigenous and Native folks. Colonialism in settler society has destroyed their way of life, and they're kind of already living in a dystopia. That sounds very harsh coming out of my mouth, and it was probably phrased in a more eloquent way in the introduction than what I'm currently saying. But I thought it was interesting because they're wanting to imagine utopias instead. I don't know. I'm a very negative person, so that really calls to me to, in times of despair, trying to imagine a better world we could create. I don't know. People that are able to find that instead of being negative and getting sucked into the negativity are really brave, and I admire them because it's not something I'm able to do easily, at least. So I look forward to reading more of it. I also read a portion of the first story, which is about an Ojibwe. I apologize. It is about an Ojibwe boy and AI rat that are living in a spaceship orbiting Jupiter, I believe, or maybe the moon of Jupiter. But the rat, whose name is Abacus, is like AI modified, so he's like a computer, basically. And I haven't finished the story, but from what I gathered, this like family is kind of like raising these computer AI rats to send back to Earth as like robots to help humans. But Dayan, I'm unsure if that's how the name is pronounced. I tried to look it up, but I didn't find much. Is the boy, and he and Abacus have kind of formed a bond. And I kind of think maybe are falling in love. That's kind of what it seems like. Anyways, so I'm like 2/3 of the way through that first story. The goal is to read a story a day. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, because the School for Good Mothers finally checked out to me. And I have a feeling that's probably going to suck me in. But I haven't started it yet. Anyways, let's go to the duck pond. I'm sitting at the pond now, and I've seen some new ducks that I haven't seen before. They have like really dark, like purple heads instead of like green heads, like the mallards. Never seen those guys before. I don't know if they're just passing through, because we do get some migratory birds at the pond. But that was pretty cool to see those guys. These are the ducks I was talking about. Their heads and bodies are like significantly darker than a regular mallard, on top of being bigger than a mallard. Their heads look purple in certain lighting. I don't know, they must be some sort of crossbreed, I assume. I don't know if it caught on camera, but there's also a ton of big ass koi fish that are pretty cool. I had something else I wanted to say while I was here. Oh, the water has like been drained a little bit, I assume, so they can fix the sidewalk over there. So like lots of rocks and pipes and stuff are visible that usually aren't. But yeah, I like to come here, feed the ducks. They're kind of just chilling right now. Sometimes they go like absolutely crazy if they hear the food like dispenser thing go off. They'll like come flooding towards you. And the swans and geese get pretty feisty sometimes. Anyways, I'm a big fan of the duck pond. I guess I'm gonna head home. I did check out a new audiobook. What's it called? You Can't Be Serious by Penn. I just recently read the newest Mindy Kaling book that came out 2 years ago, I guess, at this point. And so I decided to listen to another comedian memoir on my bike rides. I haven't started it yet because I was listening to music here. So I'll listen to a book on the way home. I'll see y'all next week. And I think next week will be my March wrap-up, I think. Fingers crossed. Because otherwise then I have to figure out something else to film. That's like the hardest part, is coming up with ideas, because I really don't know what to make. Anyways, I'll see ya. Bye.